Okay. Are we
Hello, Chef. How are you?
Hello. How are you, Dustin?
Doing very well, Chef. How are you doing today?
Good. I think we're recording. So, welcome to Three Sticks Together. This is our chef series, the second of several we're going to be doing each week. Last week, Bill Price sat down with Kyle Connaughton of Single Thread Farms. And this week, I have the pleasure of having Chef Dustin Valette, thus the coat here. So if you can't get a reservation, you order these either at the dollar store or off of Amazon, and you can get it anytime.
Just go to the dollar store and be like, I need the Chef Villette chef coat, and you're good to go.
There you go.
Works every time.
The chef series is about the chefs that have done some special dinners for us over at Three Sticks. So we have had what we call a storehouse dinner, and this is for our Mariposa members every year. And a couple years ago, we invited Chef Dustin to come down and host that, prepare a meal for our storehouse attendees. And it went extremely well. It was one of our favorite all-time storehouse dinners. And you can attend this event if you become a Mariposa member with the Three Sticks wines at the Adobe. During this forum, while Dustin and I are kind of going to go back and forth, we're going to talk a little about what's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about the food that he prepares there at Villette, and as well as our 2018 Pinot Blanc from the Durrell Vineyard. So this is just being released, and we will talk about this as well. So during this whole process, you can follow the question function. We have everybody else muted except Dustin and I, which is good because we could chat all night long. And we'll want you to ask questions using the function at the bottom of your screens. And then they will text those to me, and then we'll try to get to those throughout the cast. Otherwise, kind of sit back and hopefully enjoy. You got a glass of wine in front of you, and we'll go from there. So, Dustin, tell me a little bit about how Villette started and how you became associated with the restaurant business. I know you kind of grew up in the Healdsburg area. I thought I'd been around for a while. I've only been here since 1986. I think they have your birthplace marked down off of the square where Dustin Valette was actually born.
It's right next to the big sewer cap, like that big sewer main right there. You know, it's right there. It's like Dustin Valette was here, stamp, rubber stamp.
Just down from the restaurant. So, Dustin, tell us a little bit about your history and connection to Sonoma County.
I would love for a long time. I think any good conversation, any good dinner, meal, anything starts with this. So real quick, cheers, cling to the fantastic winemaker, Bob Cabral, the amazing wine brand, Three Sticks, and the fact that I have wine in my glass. So, asante, cheers. We can just sit here and drink wine all night, honestly. We just got to get this out of people's hands. I know, right? And it's gone. So yeah, Villette it's been a dream, a passion of mine and my brother's for my whole life. I started cooking 26 years ago. Started cooking in Geyserville, which is 5 minutes up the street, and just absolutely fell in love with cooking. It was always been my passion. I always wanted to do something in my life that brought people together, that let people all come together and just commemorate life, enjoy that moment, share that moment with other people. So cooking, always been a passion of mine. And my brother, my business partner, is the front of the house. I'm the back of the house. We've talked about it every single family gathering. Thanksgiving, Christmas, we'd have a glass or maybe two tops of wine. And it would be like, one day we're going to open our own restaurant. And we were very fortunate to be able to follow that dream, that passion, and start it in 2015.
Awesome. So tell us also a little bit about, kind of what's going on now. I know COVID-19 has kind of set us all back a bit. You know, we've had to adjust. I'm sure you've had to just a little bit. We've all had to either shut down certain aspects of our business. Tell us a little bit about what Villette Restaurant has been doing since the shelter in place, and maybe talk about some of the charities that you're working with, because I know that you're a huge supporter of the community, and we always appreciate that, and that's one of the great things that we want to you know, make sure that continues on. So tell us a little bit about that.
So, you know, when COVID-19 started, we really wanted to be able to give people something a sense of familiarity, a sense of relaxation, an ability to kind of relax, unplug, and really just kind of focus in the moment. So we started our to-go series, to-go series, and we started doing 2 different models. We did like we're doing tonight, which is a family style dinner for 4 people. It's $75, and you have appetizer, salad, entree, protein, dessert, the whole 9 yards. And then on Friday, Saturday, we're doing what we call like an a la carte version, which is a choice of an appetizer, entree, dessert. And we do that for $39 per person. And we get everything from our poke, which I think you might have had once or twice in your life, to New York steak, to like this week we're doing wild king salmon, a bunch of different options. And our whole idea behind it is we just want people in our community to have the ability to kind of come together, break bread, and just relax. And of course, by come together, I mean your family and your close, your family, not out there random strangers. Right. But we've had an amazing success. And we're very, very excited to be part of this community. And we sat back and we listened. We asked our community members, we said, you know, what can we do? Is it more beneficial for us to close our restaurant? Is it more beneficial for us to offer different food options? And we got just an enormous outcry from the community saying, we want you to stay open. We want you to offer a diversification of dining. And that's what we're doing right now. And we're honored, man. We're excited. We you know, we don't charge everybody. There's probably 10, 15% of our dinners that we just don't charge. You know, people who are, you know, they're having a hard time. They maybe lost their job. They lost their business. And this is affecting everybody. And there's something that we can do in our lives to bring joy to people, something we can do. We can share our craft, share our passion, and bring joy. To me, it's a win-win. So yeah. Very, very excited.
Well, that's awesome. I know. And we appreciate all of your support of the community and the Pinot Blanc. So let's talk a little bit about that. So in addition, so this is a wine that we make from the Durrell Vineyard. So the first vineyard that Bill purchased down in Sonoma. And not many people really make a Pinot Blanc around here. And it kind of came from Bill's love of the Alsatian white varietals like Pinot Blanc, Riesling, Gewürztraminer. So he planted 2 cleaned up Alsatian clones from UC Davis. And we've been making this wine in barrel fermented, used French oak, neutral oak. We do throw in 1 new acacia barrel to add kind of a different twist. It gives a different spice, a different sweetness to the wine. But it sits on the lees for almost 10 months before it's bottled, and then we bottle age it for almost another year before it's released. So can you tell us, and it's just one of the wines I love making. I love white wines that have that fresh, vibrant acidity. It's got real nice minerality. It's just one of my favorite wines, seriously. So
it's absolutely delicious.
Do you have a recipe or something that you think would go well with this?
I know, right? Come on. You get a chef and winemaker together, and like we're gonna do 2 things. We're gonna drink a bunch of wine, and we're gonna talk about food, right? Like that's just what we do. And we have a lot of hand actions. Like every once in a while, I forget that I'm like, the Italian, the French. Recipe-wise, absolutely. I mean, think about this. We were talking about salmon, right? Think about some nice, beautiful, fresh, like seared salmon, not well done, but cooked really light. Think about like lemon verbena. Right, that lemongrass. But lemongrass is strong. It's a little too pungent for me. It's like a lemon verbena with nice vinaigrette with like a kaffir lime inside there. Fresh little citrus. To me, that's what pops. A little bit of like fresh goat cheese. You know, think about like a really simple like a teff or like the multicolored quinoa with a little bit of preserved lemons inside there, and then take a little bit of kaffir lime, infuse it back into oil, toss that in there. a little toasted almonds, fresh goat cheese. I gotta drink more wine. Hold on. Hold,
so,
please.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So we got some salmon from you. I think it was last week. Was that quinoa that was on the bottom? The red, like, grain? Was that a rice or a quinoa?
That was forbidden rice. So that one was actually black forbidden rice. So
but it was kind of reddish color.
It does, yeah. It has that black red color. Forbidden rice to me is a little nuttier. You'd want to use that for like a Viognier, like a Chardonnay. But this Pinot Blanc, the acid is beautiful, and that lemon, like you said, I think you said lemon right on the nose. And to me, it's that lemon balm, that lemon verbena, that bright, bubbly part of lemon, not the lemon juice, not the lemon zest, not the preserved lemon, but that aromatical element, like a Meyer lemon, like a fresh. But we take a rind of Meyer lemon and you squeeze it, and you get that spray of oil, those aromatics. That to me would be beautiful. Plus fresh goat cheese and toasted almonds. I think you're in.
So we have a question here, and I'm a little leery about asking it, and I'm not sure who asked it, but it says.
Yes, I am wearing pants.
Okay. I'm not, so there you go. Question for Dustin. What is your favorite thing about Bob?
My favorite thing about Bob?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I guess me. I don't know. I'm not sure. They didn't specify which Bob, but.
Hold on. Let me check my phone. Oh, I said that too. My bad. Here's my favorite part is we met probably 9 years ago. Yeah, it was 9 years ago. First time we met, 8 years ago. And the part that I love best about you is that your passion is there. Your passion for food, your passion for wine, but more importantly, the thing that I love working with you is your depth of knowledge. You're like a freaking encyclopedia. Like, you don't know this, but behind your back, we all call you Britannica because you're literally like an encyclopedia of knowledge. And the part that's most impressive to me is you understand what the grape tastes like in the very beginning of the process, and you understand what's going to end like in the very final process. Where, from a food standpoint, we don't always have that luxury. We're a little more whimsical, a little more, I'll admit it. We conceptualize, but we always tweak and modify and adjust. You're able to hold so many different variables in the winemaking process, but also in the food and wine pairing element, even in the culinary department too. And to be able to understand not just what it tastes like right this second, but what it's going to translate to in the future cooking, the future winemaking, the future of aging. That depth of knowledge, to me, as a chef, is huge because we can have a culinary discussion without talking about direct culinary techniques. They're more about the nuances and the flavor development and the flavor interaction. So again, I would say, honestly, your ability to have a memory like an elephant and your palate that understands not just the final product, but also the beginning of the product and where it's going to end up. That to me is very unique. And from a chef, when we're able to do winemaker dinners with you, it's astonishing. That dinner you're talking about, when we were out there and, hanging out, just trying your wines. But when you were back there, if you remember, we were back in this little kitchen. We made a kitchen, this big gravel driveway. Right. We made this pop-up kitchen, right? And we're back there. And I'll never forget, you came back in the middle of me cooking some kind of food. And I remember you tasting it and you're going, oh, okay, that's going to pair so well. And we're talking about the Pinot at the time. And just to understand that of all the information in your head, you're able to isolate a flavor and then pair that with the nuance or another flavor of the wine, but understand that bridge and that gap and how that transforms from the raw item to the finished item, to me, is unparalleled. Oh, yeah, and you got cool hair.
And I got cool hair, yeah. Well, I haven't been able to get a haircut. Not that I cut my hair that often anyway.
I know, look at mine, dude.
But yeah, it's getting pretty shaggy, but one of these days I'll think about getting it. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I guess, what I, to kind of counter that, what I like about Dustin is just his inventiveness, his creative juices. When I watch him cook, it's amazing to me. And I see a lot of the same things that I saw in myself as a young winemaker, where you're experimenting with this and you're experimenting with that, and you're not afraid to take those chances. And I think really good chefs, much like I think people who become good winemakers, is we fail a lot. You try a lot of things and they don't necessarily work. For me now, after 40 years of doing that, I try not to follow the paths that I've gone down before. Although I find myself, as I'm working with young winemakers again, like the team at Three Sticks, Carl and Emily and Ryan, you know, they really make me think about, am I really making the best decision at this point? Or could we do something a little bit different and actually make this taste a little better, or make it taste, you know, go better with food in the long run? And so I really like that about you, is that you have such a creative mind. Your enthusiasm for the community has just been wonderful, and it's been a pleasure to be able to do these philanthropic kinds of things, supporting our communities together. We, you know, anytime I call you up for an auction lot, or you call me up for some wines, I know it's usually not what, but how much do you need, or when do you need it by? Yeah. And I really appreciate that. And I've tried to take that philosophy on myself too, with my community. And when I get a call from the Alexander Valley Grammar School, you know, can I get a signed Magnum, you know? And sometimes that's a third grade teacher's art, you know, budget for the year. That one signed Magnum will go for $800 or $1,000. And
that's a good deal.
It's a great deal, right? It's a great deal.
We're doing an auction right now. I will give you $500 for signed Magnum right now. Seriously, I'm in.
Where? Here, let me. Oh, I just happen to have my marker here in my nice handy chef pack here. So with the Pinot Blanc, though, we are giving $10 back to Sonoma Family Meal. So the goal is to raise somewhere around $25,000 for Sonoma Family Meals, just with the Pinot Blanc. And then 3-6 has a few other programs going on, and just trying to again give back to this community that's been so good to us. And
absolutely,
you know, Sonoma County is really my home, and I've lived here for many years, and I can't think of living in another place right now. So great place.
So you've been here for 34 years. You've been here for 34 years, 86 to 2020.
34 years. And you're what, about 25 years old now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. This isn't gray. This is aggressively blonde hair. Yeah. 23.
Well, because you surf all the time. You're in California.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. No, I agree. And I think, honestly, what 3-6 is doing for our community is fantastic. What Bill does is astonishing, but it's also very inspirational. And I really am a big believer that, you know, you got to give back to our community. You got to help those who helped you. And I feel very enthusiastic that we have so many amazing people around us. And granted, we're all going through a crazy time right now. We're going through staying. I know. I've already had it. Look, I'm
a little bit of Pinot Noir. Yeah.
Not too shabby.
Sorry. I didn't mean to distract you there with the bottle.
You know what? We can always get distracted with some shiny puppy. Like, ooh, glass of wine. Ooh, glass of wine. Ooh, glass of wine. But no, I mean, really honestly, like what we're able to do here in this community is amazing. And I think that really is a testament to who we are as Healdsburgarians, who we are as community members. And you look at what 3-6 is doing, what Bill Price is doing, what he's doing to help contribute for Sonoma Family Meal. That is an amazing program. It's literally helping support restaurants, and that money is going to a fantastic, fantastic cause that's able to help people in need and help people with the most basic human necessity, food. To me, that is the most, I think, inspirational part of this whole program, and why I'm so honored to be part of it.
Yeah, same here. I just, you know, this is such a great place, and I'm sitting out literally in my backyard, just kind of hanging out. I spent the morning out at Durrell, actually going through all of the 3-6 blocks, and we have bloom in various areas. Actually, the Pinot Blanc isn't blooming yet. Parts of Chardonnay have started. Some of the young Pinot Noir blocks have already finished bloom. So yeah, really? It's just a beautiful day here in Sonoma County. Yeah.
Well, I'm hanging out down in my cellar. I love that you have.
I know you like the smell of prosciutto, though. You always smell like prosciutto, man. So you know.
Hey, I took a shower a couple days ago. I'm good. I'm fine. It's aromatic. I'm French. You know, it's supposed to have terroir, right?
So going back to where we're at now. So you're doing takeout with the community.
We are.
And you're doing a lot of meals for the community. What will it look like as we start to open up restaurants, either in dining? What do you think that Villette, what's your vision of how it would open back up? Will you continue with takeout, those kinds of things? And I don't need definitive answers, but.
Yeah, we don't know yet. I mean, our number one, we had an interview today with a company, and, we were saying that our number one goal at our restaurant is the safety of our employees. That's our number one most important thing. And then our number two is the safety of our guests. I mean, we want to make sure that we're protecting our own. We want to make sure we're protecting our people, our clientele that comes to the restaurant. Our third thing is creating an atmosphere that is enjoyable, right? Create an atmosphere where when you come into our restaurant, Villette, pre-COVID, you were able to just relax and enjoy yourself. You were able to talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors. You were able to spend time with your significant other, with your kids, your parents. And it is really that environment we try to create. It's what we do in the hospitality business. And right now, with the current regulations, it's kind of complex and kind of hard. So we're not sure what the future looks like. We look at ourselves as an entity that helps our community. We look at ourselves who our main goal is to help our community, do what we can to make them happy and to help hopefully brighten some people's days. And at Villette, if that means that we're able to open and be running next week, we love it. It'd be fantastic. That's our goal. If that means we're open in 2 weeks or a month and a half, we don't have an exact date. It's more important to us that our employees are safe, that our patrons are safe. And the third part we have to kind of cross before we can open is that our restaurant is portraying an image and a feeling of relaxation and a feeling of hospitality here in Sonoma County. I want that restaurant to be like you came to my house. And if that means that we're having to wear, gloves and helping extra layers of protection, that's fantastic. If that means we have to maybe hold off for another week or so until after the general opening to ensure that we have that feel, that je ne sais quoi, that
right.
ambiance, then we're in. We don't have an exact date. We really care more about making sure that we are helping as much as we can our community members and also those in need. And for us right now, we're very happy and content. We're able to feed people. We're very happy that we're able to help give away charity dinners. We're very excited to be part of this partnership with 3-6 and yourself. And that's more important to me than opening our business. We, of course, want to open a business. We would like to stop losing money one day. But right now, that's not important. What's important is humanity. Right now, what's important is community. What's important right now is that we're able to get people together and feel a sense of relaxation. If we can't do that in person, we do like we are right now, over the phone. I love hanging out with you. I wish I was sitting there right now with you, drinking a glass of wine. But if we're able to do this, we're able to bring joy to people who are watching this, and we're able to help protect the most vulnerable. That is what makes me excited, and that is what trumps all else.
Yeah, I think things are going to, we need to get the public's acceptance that this is something that they want to come experience again. I see wineries doing more creative things out in the vineyards, more tastings. There's a couple of wineries that have talked about actually doing tastings out in the vineyards where you can space things out a little bit more and actually bring our agriculture a little bit closer to them as well as part of the experience. So we just need to make sure that we're keeping people safe, that we're keeping our team members at 3-6 safe, and we'll get through this all.
Yeah, even like at the Adobe, right? Because the Adobe is fantastic, and like you sit there and you look at that. Think about how much space you have. You guys have the ability to have your outdoor tasting, restaurant guy, right? Your outdoor tasting out there by the tree. You can have your dining over in the barn. You got the dining in the old kitchen area. You have the dining on the inside. There's like 7 or 8 spots you can have that are 20 feet away from anybody else. In that scenario, that's the pristine. That's what you want. You want that social distancing. You want to have that ability for people not to be concerned. And if we had that luxury of having that beautiful garden area in the back of the Adobe, we would be open probably much sooner. But right. For us, we're smaller. We're downtown. We're more confined. So we'll work with the city. We're thinking about doing some fresco dining, some dining outside, right. On the sidewalk and reinterpreting. And I think that would probably help kind of mitigate those apprehensions we have right now. Again, if we had the Adobe at 3-6, we would be there probably, in a couple of weeks. So.
Right, and that's where I know the Adobe, we're hoping that around June 12th,
Oh, that's fantastic.
You can go onto the Adobe website, make a reservation. As long as we get everything in place, we have all the procedures, the safety procedures, and we still can create a good experience for everybody. The idea is to make sure that when you come up, you're still getting that same experience. And I totally get what you're saying and why we like to go dine out. You know, it's just really important. I have another question here.
Yeah, we got a question, man. You got me and you together. There's got to be some questions out there. Come on.
So the next question is for you, Chef. When you make your menu, what is your consideration for local wine AVAs? And I think what they mean is, like, do you start creating a beef dish and go, oh, I need a Dry Creek Zinfandel or something like that?
That's a really good question. So it really depends. Villette, we really try to focus on Sonoma County. We really try to showcase our local wineries. But we also want people to have the option to pick something international. We want to have people the option to pick something from Napa or Sonoma. So we have diversification on the Villette wine list. And I think our food tries to speak to that also. We try to have diversification of the food. When it comes to like a winemaker dinner, like what we did with yourselves at Three Sticks a couple years ago, that's different. When you're sitting back and you're really trying to pair an exact AVA, an exact flavor of the wine, it's a little bit different. So there's kind of two styles of food that we do. One is a broader approach, if you will, saying, you know, we're going to do roasted peaches and pickled green peaches and burrata cheese and a grilled focaccia, the local extra virgin olive oil. And we're going to do a little bit of bitter arugula inside there, maybe a little bit of watercress. We'll follow that back by taking that liquid off the peaches when you roast them, that syrup, that beautiful, delicious essence of the peach. We'll drizzle that around, maybe a 15, 20-year-old balsamic. So it really depends on if you're doing a generic dish and you're trying to focus on one or two inspirational elements, or if you're trying to cater a dish to an exact wine, or back to the question, to an AVA. So on the regular menu, inspiration usually comes from food with an idea of a notion of a wine. If you go back to rock pile, you might be up there and having a rock pile Zin. You might be out and having a Durell, which is absolutely delicious, by the way. These wines are amazing. But you might be sitting there and you might just be blown away. You have the Pinot and you sit there and you're like, this wine is screaming. Like, this wine to me right here is fantastic. But if you smell it, like when you smell the wine.
2018 Price Family Estate Pinot.
It is delicious. But when you smell that, you get this beautiful, the toastiness, the char, the caramelization of that barrel. You get the fruit, and the fruit isn't a fruit bomb. There's no sugar to it, and the acid's balanced. So like when I have this, I think is like fresh cherries, like duck, like rendered down duck skin, a little bit of coriander on that duck. So as the skin starts to like render, the fat gets crispy. You get all that fat out of there. You get that crispy, crunchy textural element. You put in there a little bit of fresh cherries. Maybe take like almonds, like a almond frangipane, where it's like almonds are ground up. It's actually a French cookie, but you can modify that to savory element, and you have that ground almond, toasted almond, the fresh cherries inside there, that coriander, the duck skin. It's a textural element of the wine and a flavor balance in the wine and acidification of the wine that allows you to play with different nuances of dishes. And then you start to kind of pick and pull. You start saying, you smell it, and you're going, that's delicious, but duck confit would be amazing. And you start adding these nuances, and that's what to me is what makes it amazing.
What time should I come by? How long does this go? Can you have that done in about an hour?
Oh yeah, dude, easy,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hold on, you're talking about more wine, right?
Yeah, well,
the
yeah.
Duck is taking a week.
Will take a week. We got to talk to Jim down in Petaluma. So I have another question here. Somebody asked what I'm drinking. What red do I typically drink? And it's Pinot Noir, almost always.
One of my favorites.
Yesterday, I was actually fortunate enough to celebrate my 25th wedding anniversary. So,
congratulations.
Thank you. We decided to cook together. So we did a beef Wellington. We got a nice piece of meat, some great mushrooms at Big John's. And we did the beef Wellington. And Heather said, so what are we drinking with this? And I'm thinking, well, I've got some Zins, I've got some Cabs, I've got some other wines. And I'm like, you know what? My trip to France got cut short. I was the night we got called back to California. had been in France on a trip with one of my barrel coopers, and we were in Chambon-Musigny, which is where Comte de Vogüé is. So last night, now this wine is way too young, and because I think I tweeted it yesterday and got all kinds of comments, but we drank a 2015 Musigny with the and my daughter Paige, who's 18, she's almost 19, she's getting ready. She finally committed to Lewis and Clark College up in Portland, so that's where she'll be attending next fall. So I let her taste the wine, and she goes, "Wow, where is this from? This is very different." And so I started to, well, tell me about it a little bit. And she said Pinot Noir and everything. And then she goes, "Well, how much does this cost?" So I gave her the name of it, and I said, "Look it up on wineshopper.com." About 30 seconds later, her eyes got super big, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe, seriously?"
See,
how
that's
much
a horrible idea.
would cost? Yeah.
Because now she's gonna be in college. She's like, "Hey, Daddy, can I have more money for college?" And you're like, "No, honey." She's like, "Remember that time you opened that couple $1,000 bottle of wine?" Oh man.
Right.
But isn't that the best part? But think about what you said. Here's a winemaker talking about an amazing vintage, amazing wine, amazing winery. But think about the interaction with food and wine. Think about how food is delicious. We all have it, right? I'm skinny. I'm actually anorexic. You can't tell. This, just so you know, this Zoom adds on like 85 pounds.
Yeah,
so
same here.
I'm actually, we're both actually, I'm a very trim 200 pounds.
Well, they mistake me for an NBA player most of the time.
Yeah, me too, all the time. They're always like, "You need some more calories." But you sit back and you really sit back and think about what food and wine does, the interaction. And look where we live. Look at the beautiful terroir where we are. Look at where this culture we live in here in Healdsburg, here in Sonoma County, here in the wine country, Napa, Sonoma. This is part. I mean, this is my cellar in my house, right? That's your house. I mean, this is what we do. This is built into our DNA. And to me, it's amazing that you can live in Iowa, you can live in New York, you can live in Chicago, you can be in Florida. You can order a bottle of wine and take it home, and you get a snapshot. You get a picture. You get a picture of this life that we have, this beautiful terroir that we live in. And you can take a snapshot of saying, this is the day in the life of Bob Cabral, Dustin Valette. And just when you add food and wine together, to me, it creates magic. And I'm honored to know you as a friend. And I think your winemaking skills are astonishing. And I think that, be able to sit here and have a couple glasses of 3.6 is not too bad of a day.
Cheers, Chef. So thank you for your time today, Dustin. I know you got to go cook that duck for me.
I know.
That's going to take a while.
Minutes,
but, I would like to, again, thank everybody for joining us for this little chat. And, we really appreciate all your support. Please come up to Sonoma County, visit all of the restaurants, come into the wineries. Yep. We'll be safe. We'll make good experiences for you. But for now, kind of hold on, watch us on Zooms. And thanks again, Chef.
Hey, thank you guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers to everybody.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Enjoy, my friend.